guys, I'm Dr. Holly. I'm with Roots Chiropractic. With this stress and anxiety sort of workshop, what I'm going to do today, at least, since I can't exactly show you how I address stress and anxiety, I'm going to tell you a little bit about it and then just give you a few pointers, little things that you can do at home regarding your nervous system. So when I look at stress, what I'm looking at is from the perspective of your brain and your spinal cord, so your nervous system. Chiropractic addresses any miscommunications between your brain and your nervous system because of the position of your vertebra or the bones in your back. So when they're slightly misaligned, they put pressure on your spinal nerves, which disrupts the communication between your brain and your body, so that your body sending signals back up to the brain. Your brain can't auto-regulate the things that your body is telling it needs. Things like serotonin, norepinephrine, cortisol, all things that help us help contribute to stress. So part of what causes stress, especially today, is our fight or flight reaction, which is your sympathetic nervous system. Back in caveman days, if you came across a T-Rex or a lion, your fight or flight response would shoot up, right? And so that would keep it so that our digestion wasn't a big deal at the moment, but your heart rate goes up so that you have more oxygen so that you can either stand, fight, or flight, or run. What we have done in today's society is we've sort of put ourselves in a perpetual running from the lion state. Anything from being in the car and having a little bit of road rage to being at work and having a deadline that's coming up, everything we look at like that we see as the lion coming after us, right? And it increases our stress level, which increases that sympathetic activity. And we put ourselves in a consistent state like that. Now, short bursts of that are a good thing. It's good to sometimes have that needing to learn or that needing to grow phase that the sympathetic nervous system causes. But overall, we need it in a short phase, and then for your parasympathetic to come in, and that's your rest and digest. So giving yourself time to breathe and sleep and digest the correct nutrients and things like that. And in our today's society, we tend to forget that part. We even kind of wear our stress as a badge of honor, like, oh, I'm so busy, I'm so stressed. And being in that perpetual state can actually start to cause some deterioration of important parts of your body, and some disease processes begin. One of the things we look at is heart rate variability, or the amount of time between the beats of your heart. And when they're consistent, they're very close together, they're not varied at all. That's not a good thing. That means we've been in that sympathetic state for too long. You want a little bit of variation in there to say that you've had time to rest and digest. So my few tips for today are things that will help you just stop and relax. And you can sort of, we call them like nervous system hacks, ways that you can control that fight or flight / that rest and digest. If you're just cognizant of it and very aware of it, you can help yourself a little bit. So the first thing that I like to do is exactly what Zach was talking about tonight, is the deep breathing. And he does a really good job of explaining exactly what he's looking for. For me, even if you're not doing that type of breathing, even if it's just a little bit of breathing in general until you can get to a place where somebody is helping you through like a class, stopping, closing your eyes, finding kind of a quiet space, and just concentrating on your breaths in general help activate that parasympathetic nervous system and can calm everything down. Another thing that I like to talk about is keeping your nervous system healthy. So making sure that you're eating the right foods. Fermented foods are awesome for your nervous system. Vitamins B12 and 6 are great for your nervous system. And making sure that you're eating healthy, fatty foods, because those oils are also good for your system. Oh, and then of course, as I'm talking, I forgot point number 3. And of course, it's live, and we're going to put it on a website. Exercise, for sure, exercise. Yeah, exactly. So running through that fight or flight. So when you have time, schedule in time early in the morning, late at night, over your lunch break, something. Find a time where you can get out and expel that energy, so that by the time you stop, when your heart has to slow down, finding a place to be quiet and just relax through that. You've gone through the whole fight or flight process. You've gone through the whole variability of your heart rate, and bringing it back down can trigger the parasympathetic nervous system. And in general, exercise just is good for stress, so that everything's not bottled up. You have a place to put the energy, and then it's taken care of, and you're not just holding it and letting it affect you. Because like we said, in the long run, if you're consistently stressed like that, it causes some long-term problems that we can't fix short-term. And so all of those things will put your body in a place that once you go see a chiropractor, which is what I do, when we're releasing the pressure on the nerves, everything is healthy and ready for the brain and the body to communicate properly again, and those adjustments hold faster and hold longer, so that you're able to heal faster and for a longer time span without having to come back in, which is always our goal, is that we see you just intermittently and not consistently and short time spans, but that we can space that out so that your body is functioning optimally as much on its own as possible, and then you just come in for a checkup now and again. So I'm Dr. Holly. I hope we see you guys at the workshop in September, so that you can get a lot more in depth with exactly what it is that we're doing with the chiropractic care in your nervous system, and we can decrease your stress a little bit. So thank you.